There's a section, a story in the book of Acts, and Paul here is in Athens, and he speaks to the philosophers in the Areopagus. And I just want to read through it. This is found in Acts 17, and to just highlight some of the things that Paul is revealing to these Athenians, these Greek philosophers, these people that were meeting there, and they were interested. And so this starts in verse 22 of Acts 17. And it says, "And then Paul stood in the midst of their Areopagus and said, 'Men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are very religious. For as I was passing through and considering the objects of your worship, the things that you have here, I even found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown God.'" And these were very religious people, and they wanted to cover all their bases. And so here they have this altar, this inscription, to the unknown God. They wanted to make sure that they covered all their bases, that they worshiped all of them that were necessary. And so the one that they didn't even know, to the unknown, they knew all these other gods that they had, but they wanted to say, but if I've missed any, I'm going to give him an altar as well. So to the unknown God. And Paul says, therefore, the one whom you worship without knowing, the one that has eluded you, that doesn't fit in all these other categories and all these other individuals, him, this one, I proclaim to you. And he goes on, verse 24, this unknown God, this is the God who made the world and everything in it, since he is Lord of heaven and earth, he does not dwell in temples made with hands. God doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. So even to look to a physical place as his house or his temple, his dwelling place, we've missed who he is and what he's up to. Verse 25, nor is he worshipped with men's hands as though he needed anything. He doesn't need you to do things in a certain way. He doesn't need your obedience. He doesn't need your love. It's not a need. This is the one who made all things, heaven and earth, everything. He doesn't dwell in what we create and what we fashion. He doesn't need anything from us. This is what Paul is saying. Nor is he worshipped with men's hands as though he needed anything, since he gives to all life, breath, and all things. You don't have life apart from him anywhere else. It is from him. Your very breath, all things come from him. And he has made, verse 26, from one blood, every nation of men to dwell on the face of the earth, and has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings. He says God's made everybody. He's made all of this. And why? Why did he do all he's done? Verse 27, so that they should seek the Lord, that they would seek him, in the hope that they might grope for him and find him. Though he is not far from each one of us, because in him, verse 28, we live in him, we move, in him we move, in him we have our being, our very existence. As also some of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring, his children. This is what Paul's revealing to these men of Athens in the Areopagus, in speaking of the unknown God, who has made all of us to be his children. And he has set all of these things in place in the hope and the desire that in our groping in our own darkness, that we would find him. Though he's not far off, what would we discover? What would we find? But that in him we live. In him you have your being. In him you move and have all things. In him. Not searching from far off, but finding him here, right here, close at hand, because you're his children and he is with you. This is what Paul's telling the Athenians. And it's a powerful thing, and we need to let it sink in. This is not a God who is angry and wrathful with his children. He is wanting us to find him. He wants us to see him, to hear him, to respond to him. Not because he needs us to, but because he made us to do so. He created us in his likeness and image to be at one in union with him. And we are lost in the darkness. And yet in our groping, he is right here to be found.